Hello. This is the second part of the first part that, I did for my personal airline tier list review thing. And as you can see here, I've already rated them. Well, sucks because the program that I use, which is called Vidyard, I edited something, I trimmed something, and then I couldn't get the rest of the video back. And I trimmed it in half, so half the video was lost. And in that, I actually did everything Air Canada, everything United, and everything WestJet. And as you can see here, I already have the finished product, but I'm just going to explain my experiences with those airlines and, justify why they're actually in the places that I put them. So, first of all, Air Canada and why I put them up in S. Air Canada was definitely the best experience that I've had with an airline aside from Air France and Aeroflot. Their in-flight entertainment was always good, except they didn't have a huge database full of movies, but still good picks, and they update it frequently. So that's also a really great part of flying Air Canada. The crew members and staff on board were always nice, always very friendly, and also the food. The food was good. It was good airplane food, but it's something you would get maybe at a fast food restaurant, but not something like Aeroflot or Air France where it's just top notch. So, Air Canada, I've had a lot of experience with. I've flown to, I believe it was to. Okay, someone's playing a prank on me. Really? Come on. Really? Alright. Okay.
That may or may not be someone pissing.
Sorry about that, everybody, but they've been just playing pranks on me ever since I started my YouTube channel, and that's just kind of how it is. And so, Air Canada, I've flown to Rome, and I've also flown back from Milan. I've flown to and from Vancouver, to and from Calgary, to and from Saskatoon, Phoenix, LA, like all of these different locations, and I've flown almost all of their aircraft, including their Boeing 777s, 787s, 767s, A320s, and their smaller jets, which I'll go on because that's not actually mainline Air Canada. But Air Canada, definitely one of the best airlines that I've flown. So I have already put it up in the S category. So now I'm gonna explain why I put Jazz and Rouge up here. So first, I'm gonna go with Jazz. Jazz is the connector airline that connects all of Air Canada's major operating cities to smaller towns. Like, for example, if you fly into Vancouver, you have links with Air Canada Jazz to places like Kamloops, Kelowna, and Castlegar. But the thing about Air Canada Jazz is it was really special. They load you up with snacks even on 35-minute flights, which is the last flight that I had with Air Canada Jazz from Kelowna to Vancouver. It was 35 minutes on a Q400, but they gave us 2 rounds of drinks, which I both had orange juice because I love orange juice and I can't get enough at home because there's 4 people and it's gone in a day. And that may or may not be because of me and also my stepbrother Mateo. But anyway, they also loaded us up with pretzels, and that's all I was eating on our way home on an A320 with mainline Air Canada. But for that kind of service on a small link like that, that's pretty great. And that's why I put that in A, especially for the type of airline that is. And I'll also explain why WestJet Encore is down here versus that in United Express, So now Air Canada Rouge. It's the low-cost subsidiary of Air Canada. It's also the vacation and leisure part of Air Canada. They have a fleet of A320 family jets and 767s. And I have to admit, no in-flight entertainment, which is kind of crappy. But the thing is when I was by myself and flying to and from Phoenix on a 767-300ER, they gave me special privileges, obviously, because I was by myself. They gave me good food, breakfast sandwiches, which it was good. I will kill for a breakfast sandwich, a good one. And that's basically all I get at places like Tim Hortons here in Canada. But also, Air Canada Rouge, they gave me an iPad, and it had games and movies, and it had more movies than the actual Air Canada mainline, except for when I was on the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner to Rome. There was a crap ton of movies on that one, and that was the best experience because I got to like dim windows instead of just completely shut them. But Air Canada Rouge, for that type of airline and the service that they had, I would definitely put them at an A. So we have Air Canada, Jet, and United. So United, the crew was just sassy, and it was just not nice. They were very sarcastic. They did give us in-flight entertainment. It was decent, but also just the crew, I still can't. That's why I put them at a B. I think the crew should be a lot nicer, but I only flew United once, or actually twice if you include my United Express experience. I flew it from Toronto to Denver on a 737-800, and then I flew United Express on to Montrose, where then I just drove to Telluride with my family because that's where we were going. Air Canada Jets, I don't know what to say. It's basically Air Canada Jazz except with jet aircraft. I've flown their business class on an E190 from Saskatoon to Toronto when I was coming home. And this actually got bumped up because my dad has Star Alliance privileges. And I have to say, that seat had full recline. And on an E190, a narrow body like that with a 2-2 configuration, that's pretty awesome. And as soon as we got on board, they just started peppering us spoiling us just with hot towels, 2 hot meals in a 3-hour flight, which is amazing. And they were good hot meals too, like the pasta that I had on board. It was good. It was high quality food. And that's why I put Air Canada at a B, because also, they lost our bags a lot, but they also had some not so great experiences when I was just flying regular to I think it was Calgary. But still, I think it would be a B. Now we're moving on to WestJet and WestJet Encore. WestJet, on the 737, they did not have in-flight entertainment. How do you mess that up? United and another legacy carrier in Canada, Air Canada, United is from the US, obviously, based in Chicago. Seriously, WestJet, like your main competitor on an A320, which is practically a 737 from Airbus, has in-flight entertainment, and you should have it too. And other than that, when I was on board, for some reason, they didn't give us drinks, and the food was expensive, and we didn't get it because it was just too expensive, and that's why I have it all the way down to a C, and it really shouldn't be called another legacy carrier. I think it should be more like a low-cost carrier for what they had on their domestic market. WestJet Encore, same story. On short flights, I do expect them to have at least drinks, and they did not, but they did give us a bag of pretzels, that's why it's not a D. And United Express, like, come on! That flight from Denver to Montrose was just horrible. Not enough people on board. Like, there were 2 crew members serving an E145, which is it's an Embraer E145, and it also did not have in-flight entertainment. On a CRJ 900, which I flew Air Canada Jets from Calgary to Edmonton, they had in-flight entertainment, and it was good. And I do expect an aircraft like an E145 to have good in-flight entertainment because you are a U.S. legacy carrier. So that's kind of my justification for that. And that concludes it. And for the final review, we have 3 in S, Aeroflot, Air France, Air Canada. 3 in A, Air Transat, Jazz, and Rouge. B, we have 4, Sunwing, Eastern, United, and Jets. C, WestJet and WestJet Encore, and D, United Express. Thank you very much for watching this video, and the next video that will be out, I believe, is going to be with my stepbrother, Mateo. He's had some pretty good airline experiences, but disclaimer, we did forget to include KLM, which I still don't know where he would put that on the rating scale, but he did fly a 747-400 from Amsterdam Schiphol to Toronto and back while he was going to the Canary Islands. Then he connected with a 737-800 on to Central Canaria. But thank you once again for watching this, and if you did like it, be sure to like and subscribe to show me some love, and so you guys can have more aviation-related content like this, because I love bringing it to you, and you should give me some support. I'm kidding. You don't have to, but please do. So be sure to also check out my other videos, and have a nice day, everybody.